Okay, so for everybody that's been asking what's up with the car, it's still here. It's been a little neglected, been busy, but if you guys know, we are in the process of converting this to the M3 rear suspension, rear bumper, rear quarter panels. So it's just been sitting here, haven't had no time to work on it, but let's check it out. Here it is. It hasn't been opened in a while. Still opens pretty good, but yeah, it's just been sitting here. Tan interior, you guys already know that we're going to be converting this to black. We've been collecting a couple of the pieces, but let's pop the hood. Let's see what's going on over here. You guys seen I've already polished a bunch of pieces, the valve cover, everything, but the car's just been sitting here, super dusty, full of spider webs. But remember, this car is not driven because it's in the process of being worked on, not because the car doesn't drive. The car probably needs a battery, some fresh fuel. It will start, guaranteed. So I need to get going on this. We're gonna be updating you guys pretty soon. So anybody that wants to see this, go ahead and shoot some likes, and we're gonna get this going pretty soon. All right, guys, so today we are going to spend a little bit of time getting these flares fit up. So before cutting, definitely want to make sure that you double check, triple check everything. So being that these are M3, they don't have exactly the same radius as the 4-door. The 4-door has like more of a drop right here, where the M3s and the coupes kind of cut out a little bit farther. So I'm going to fit this up today. I already started working on the bumper. It had a pretty large gap right here, but I got it closed up, so that's pretty good. Now we'll get the flare fit right there. We'll get it marked. Before we do any cutting, I want to triple check like I said, but we're gonna go ahead and try that. I already got the screws on the rear of the bumper here. So I just put one screw on top here, one here for temporary. That'll hold the bumper there in place because we're gonna be taking it off multiple times. But let me get this taped up there. We'll see where it looks like it's gonna fit best, and then we'll go ahead and mark it for cutting. Pretty hard to see on video, but this has almost no arch to it right now. Once you get that bumper on there, you can see how much it's going to come out. This flare taped up right here, kind of lined up the body line here. I think the flare needs to go up just a tad bit more, and make sure this top line right here, this body line, looks smoother. This here is open a little bit too, so I need to push this one more time forward a little bit. But you can already see the issues we're going to be having. Obviously this flare kind of twisted with the cut, so we have to pull this back in, but every time I pull on that side, this wants to lift. So we got to start by securing this. Probably going to put a couple screws, so that'll be the first thing. Maybe screw it there, one up here, and then start working it. But we want to try to keep this out, because every time you push it in, it's going to want to go in on you. So for us to keep the maximum width, we want to try to maybe put a spacer here or something. I'll figure something out, and then we'll get this leveled down. And the other issue we're going to have here is the door for the gas. I've seen a couple other people, the way they did it, they actually cut this whole section out, including the gas cap, because that way it moved back. On the M3s, the gas cap is farther back, so that's another obstacle, but I think we can deal with that. Just cut a little more, blend it in, and then possibly do a little bit of work on the cap to help blend it. So that's something I'm gonna try, save some time from cutting all this and just keeping the gas cap where it's at. But like I said, the first thing is gonna be probably putting a couple screws in that. The second issue that we may have is, as you can see here, the quarter from the sedan comes out farther down here. So that's gonna get cut off anyway. The question is going to be how we're going to do it here, because as you can see, the M3 is still a little too far back, so I'm not exactly adjusted where I need to be. Let me reconfigure it one more time. We're going to see exactly how much we really do have to cut off, and so that we can try to line this up as best to this edge. I want to say this is going to be a little bit farther back. We can always build up the metal there, weld it in. So let me get this configured one more time. Okay, I got the quarter fit up already. This is pretty much where it's gonna go. We got a nice transition from the bumper to the quarter, and then from the quarter to the rocker panel. The only thing is we are gonna have a larger gap between the wheel now. Once we cut that section of the quarter out, we're gonna have about 5/8 more of a gap, but we can always adjust the suspension. This side's taking a little longer to do because the quarter is a little bit tweaked, so I've been fighting it, trying to get it straightened out. The other side went a little smoother. This one had 0 issues, as you can see. Fit up really nice right here. Fits good with the bumper. Fits really good down here with the rocker panel, so this is exactly where we want it. This side's a little bit easier, I guess. So one thing I've been contemplating was whether we will go into the door or not. I was thinking about originally cutting it right there and just blending the quarter into the old section of the quarter here instead of going into the doors, but when I look at this side of it, it's definitely gonna look a lot better if we do go to the doors. So we may end up doing that. It's gonna create a lot more work because we gotta push this into the door, weld it, and then we're gonna have to fill in both the section of the quarter and the section of the door. So a lot more work, but the outcome should be a lot better, so we may end up just doing that. So I saw a couple pictures online on different ways they've been done. Some guys, just like I said, blend this into the ending of the quarter there, don't even go into the door. And I've seen some guys do the door. Definitely looks a lot better when you cut into the door, because you're gonna take a line from there to the door, and you're gonna have a gap here between the quarter and the old section of the quarter, so you gotta fill that. Then you're gonna have a section gap between the door and this piece of flare here. But once you fill it in, when you close the door, it's gonna look really good. So we're probably gonna go ahead and do that. Like I said, a lot more work, but it's gonna come out way cleaner. Okay guys, no going back now. This is gonna be the first screw. That's the first screw there, so no going back now. We'll just go ahead and do the rest. Okay, so this is gonna be the final location for it. I think we're definitely gonna go ahead and cut off this about a 1/2 inch to a 3/4 inch off this lip here, so that'll be gone. We're gonna have a little bigger of a wheel arch opening, but the car is tilted forward a little bit right now, so we can definitely afford to bring the back down a little bit and close the gap here. So let me pull off the flare, and then we're gonna see how much we're gonna cut off the actual quarter panel here. So this is how much we're gonna take off right here. That way the bottom of the new quarter is gonna match the old setup here. We're gonna start cutting off of here a little bit at a time. So we're only gonna take off the outer shell. We're not gonna take off the inner. Plan is hopefully I can push the inner one out and reuse it over the new one and tie them in together and see how that comes out. That's gonna be the plan. We'll see if it works out like that. All right guys, so I didn't record the last process, but basically this inner skin was pretty flat. It was coming straight down. Hammered it all the way around after I cut out this outer skin here, and this fits pretty good. Got it all the way out. I got the piece of the quarter over it. Lines up really good inside, so we're gonna reuse this, but we're gonna end up probably welding this right here and putting some sealant on it. And then right now I'm just gonna keep on working this side right here a little more, stretch it out a little bit. I'll get the quarter back on and I'll show you what that looks like. But you can already see how it's lining up to the bumper. Okay guys, so this is coming out perfect. You see the outer skin's lining up real nice to the bumper. So that's exactly where we want to be. On the inside, I was able to reuse the inner skin. So by working it out, we tucked it right behind the outer skin and it's fitting up real nice. We have to do this area right here. We're gonna keep working this one. But you pretty much get the concept. Once this is closed up right here, it's gonna be behind it. This will end up welded into it. And once we got that fit up nice, we can definitely start doing some welding here. We still gotta address the door, so not sure if I'm end up cutting it and keeping the door section, or we're gonna end up blending just the edge right here on the quarter. So we'll get to that in a bit. Guys, so it's getting there. It's looking really good. We just got to get it really smoothened out a little bit there, but you can pretty much see already how much wider the car is sitting. This is what it ended up stretching. It's gonna fit perfect with the quarter panel here. All right, we got everything fit up right here. This is its final resting location. This is where it's officially gonna sit. I already got the inner skin pushed out, tucked nice against the outer skin. Got this as best as we can, so this is just temporary until we get the cut in here. Then we're gonna end up cutting and welding this in together, so I'm not gonna secure this right now. I gotta take the quarter off, and I'm gonna go ahead and slice it, cut it right there with the door line, so we're gonna go ahead and do that now. So I got the quarter finally cut. We trimmed it to the shape right here of the door, as you can see, but now we got a gap down here. So the question here is, do we want to go ahead and just push the quarter in, force it in a little bit, and then weld it and blend it in, or do we go the long route, which is going to be putting this small trimming back on here, putting it onto the door, and molding it on instead of welding it? That may be another option. It's definitely going to look a lot cleaner. All right, guys, so if we go ahead and do it the correct way, the clean way, we're gonna have to fill the gap in here in the quarter. So we'd have to cut a piece of strip, weld it in there, blend it in nice, and then go ahead and put this piece of trimming back onto the door. And like I said, instead of welding it, we mold it on, so it's like basically gluing it onto it. So I think we're gonna go that route. It's definitely gonna look a lot cleaner. More work, but it's gonna look a lot cleaner. We're gonna do it one time, so let's do it right. So as for the door here, we're also gonna have to fill in this gap. So I'm gonna have to make a little lip and weld it on the edge of this guy here. And then that way we can epoxy that all the way around the edge here and seal it off. And then do the same thing to the whole piece. Once this is basically epoxied on there, we're gonna go ahead and obviously do Bondo body work and blend everything together. Same thing here, this is gonna take a layer of Bondo. The second issue we're gonna be working on is the gas cap scenario. I was mentioning to you guys, there's an issue here. Obviously the door does not open. If you look at the M3 gas cap, you will notice that it actually sits farther back than the sedan does. And that had me a little bit worried because I thought I was gonna have to go ahead and move this fuel hose farther back. But I noticed you really can't go any more back. Once I started studying it, I realized that the center of the hole where the fill goes is not gonna change. Simply the whole housing is gonna move over. So it's not too difficult. We are gonna have to cut the outer skin here and then just basically relocate it over with this piece. But if you can tell right here, this is a bit of a curve. So in order to keep the curve, we got to keep the original door. This has a little curve as well. And the piece that goes here, original piece, also has that curve. It's right here in the corner. So initially I cut this off. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on. But as you can see, there's a difference here. It's offset more to the left. I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do there. Once I took the door off, I was able to see what exactly was going on. So let me show you that. And it looks like we're not gonna end up moving this out of place. It's just gonna be on the outside skin. These two pieces were one. I ended up cutting them apart because I wasn't sure what route I was gonna take, but we're gonna end up bringing it back together because we do need to keep that curve right there where it starts to taper down into the fender to make it blend in. And you can see it's about 3/4 offset. That was what was worrying me. I didn't know if the gas cap was going to be in the center or it was going to be shifting, since we really don't have any room to move over from the inside. But once I put this in place here, we're definitely going to have to move the window over, but the center where the cap goes is going to stay in place. So this is going to be working out pretty good. We just got to pop off the screws inside. We're going to move the gas line over, and we'll get cutting here. We're definitely going to try to make it as small as possible. So we're going to keep a filler here, this 3/4, and then we're gonna go tight against the edge all the way around, and then we'll fit it in place. So let's start cutting it. Okay guys, so I got the gas line removed. It's out of the way there. I pulled off this canister. It was up here too, pretty close to the heat, so we definitely don't want to have any fires or anything going on. Had a cap off a line there that I disconnected from the gas line here, so for the most part that's moved out of the way. I'm definitely going to be a little cautious and obviously cover this up. You don't want to play with fire, and gasoline's not a good mix, but I think we're safe enough, far away enough, and we always got the water hose ready to go here in case something happens. But I went ahead and I marked the outer skin here for the window. We're gonna go ahead and cut this out, trim it, and then we'll overlap it on the car's original outer skin, and we'll trace it so we can go ahead and mark it and cut it. All right, so we got the window cut out. Now that I cut it off, I was able to see there was these larger holes back here. It's for the grommets that hold the hinge assembly together. If you look at this one's a lot closer to the edge here. This one's a lot farther away, so we're gonna end up having to oblong these holes over a little bit to the left and relocating the grommet over. Not a big deal, we'll take care of that later. Right now we're gonna go ahead and set the new window here, get it marked up perfect, and then trimmed out. Okay, so I got the window fit in now. Real nice fit. This is pretty much ready to tack up, but before we tack it up, I'm gonna fit the quarter back one more time, and there's gonna be a little gap here we need to fill, so I wanna go ahead and make that little piece, tack it in there, and then this will be pretty much ready to start tacking and doing some welding. So let's get to it. Let me fit this up one more time, see how it's gonna lay on there. But that's gonna be the final location for the gas door. You can see centered with that hole there, so it's gonna be pretty good. We gotta mark the holes here for the grommets that I mentioned we gotta drill out. Let me get that going as well. Okay guys, there it is with the quarter installed. You can see the window here fit pretty good. Got this notched in there, so that'll fit right in there. We'll stitch that up. Got to do a little trimming up here, but I think we're gonna leave it on. We'll get some welding from the back side, and then we'll fill in this little gap here as well. Trim off the little excess there, and then this will blend in pretty good. So we're getting closer. Let's keep going. I got to set up my welding machine and get it ready for some stitching. Okay guys, so I started getting the filler put in. I already got it trimmed, so it's fitting pretty good in here. Left it a little bit long right now, because what I want to do is actually weld it from the other side, from the inside, and then go ahead and sand all these extra materials off so it'll have that smooth edge here. So now that I got this tacked up, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the quarter panel, and then I decided we are gonna end up cutting all this piece off. So the skin that's under this quarter, we're gonna remove completely. So I went ahead and marked it already here. I'm gonna pull this off. We are gonna cut it all the way. That way when we weld it, we're gonna have a flush fit up right here instead of a little step where we'll have to end up filling up with Bondo. It's not gonna look as good, so. All right guys, so here is the quarter. I went ahead and put the filler in, got that welded in. So we welded it from the inside, sanded out here. That gives us a nice edge. So now that this is ready to go here, I got the quarter cut out. This is what I was explaining. I'm gonna go ahead and slip it so it's flush with this. So we're gonna put it right into it. We're not gonna overlap it. Got it all welded up now. This is fully stitched in all the way around, stitched up down here. So we welded that little strip down to the door. I taped it off right here, welded it down here. So once we sand this down, this will be flush. And then we can do the extension on the door as well, so that'll match up to the radius there. But for this part, pretty much done. We'll sand off the weld, get this ready for body work. We're gonna end up seam sealing the inside, but not till we get this side done on the door, then we can do the other side. So I got it all sanded down, so this is pretty much smoothened out. This will be just enough to put a little bit of body filler and fill it in. So this is done down here, smoothing it out here. So for the welding on this side, it's pretty much done. Now we're gonna do the door, and then we can go ahead and do the other side. All right guys, so I got all the welds grinded down, got the metal smoothened out. You can still see a little bit of traces of the welds, but no big deal. I also left a pretty rough texture on the metal here so that the Bondo can adhere to the body really nice. And I did go ahead and fill in this side already as well and got it sanded down. So this is gonna take a little layer of body filler as well and blend in really good. I got the bottom right here blended in. So this is pretty much ready to go ahead and take the body filler. So that's going to be the next step. Can't wait to see this finally one color primer and just see what it's going to look like. Tired of seeing all the patchy work, but a little bit of hard work's been paying off. Once we get this done, we'll go ahead and move on to the door. And once we got it all figured out here, we're going to do the same on the other side. So yesterday I put down a coat of body filler. As you can see, it's a pretty terrible job. I'm no expert at body filling or body work by that means. So I did what I can, you know, don't take my word for it. I just learned online, watched YouTube videos, but this is what I did. Got it filled in, left a little extra material that way we could take it down. So we're gonna get sanding on this. I already started a little bit here. And once we get this body figured out, I'm not gonna go all the way right now. I'm hitting it with 80. We're gonna take steps. We're gonna go to 180, then 320, but for now we're just gonna hit it with the 80. That way we can build up the edge here and we can go ahead and start forming the door. So just want to get that settled so we can make the door, and then we can go ahead and do this side and then go ahead to the other side. But I'll update you guys here once I get a little bit more sanding going. So I finally got this quarter pretty much finalized. It took about 4 layers of body filler to get it to where I wanted it. I'm gonna be honest, it probably took about 2 coats I ended up wasting, and then I did another 2. The first 2 were kind of rough. My first time doing it. I'm not a body guy, as you guys know. I'm a welder, not a body guy. So this took a little bit of time, and it was a learning curve, but I think I got it down. I think we're gonna move pretty smooth from now on. And like I said, we did 4 coats of body filler on here. I hit it with 80. I got the body lines the way I wanted it. I shaped this edge right here for the fender liner. And then once I got the 80 on, I went ahead and hit it with 180, got it smoothened out to where I like it. I think that's gonna be it. And now we went over the little pinholes. This is normal for any time you're doing body filler, you're gonna get pinholes. So we went ahead and hit it with poly putty, filled in those pinholes. We're gonna let it sit tonight. Tomorrow morning we'll go ahead and hit that, sand it back down with some 220 again, and then we're ready to primer this piece. So this end right here is gonna be pretty much finished up, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the door. And once we get the door done, we'll be able to do the other side. We know how to attack it, so it should be a lot faster. All right guys, this is the next morning. I went ahead and hit it with some 320 this morning, wiped it down with some wax and grease remover, and masked off the edges. I'll go ahead and lay the first coat of primer. You can still see some scratches. I just wanted to do the primer so we could see what it was gonna look like. Not sure if the camera's picking it up, but there's some scratches there. So whatever's gonna show now is gonna show on the paint or the wrap. So I'm definitely gonna hit this over one more time. So we're gonna let it cure for about a day, maybe 2. I'm not in no hurry today. So we'll let it cure. We'll go ahead and hit it with some 320 again, and then we'll lay another coat of primer over it. But this is looking pretty good. It's finally looking like something. It's motivating me to go ahead and get the rest of the car finished up. So this is what you guys see now. You can see how much wider this actually is here on the door. Like I mentioned guys, we're gonna go ahead and let this cure for about a day or 2. There's no hurry on getting this sanded. I want to do the door because I think once we do the door, I'll go ahead and do a coat of poly putty. That's 2K, very thin. It's gonna be filling in all those little scratches, so there's no point in even going over it right now. We'll do the door next, and then we'll do a coat over everything, sand it back down, and primer it one more time, and that'll be the final. So I guess we're moving on to the door now. Now that we got the rear quarter for the most part done, we're gonna start working on the door here. So I got the remnant from the quarter that we had left over, and I started kind of fitting it on there. Started molding it. It's lost its shape already, but kind of got it back to its shape. I still got to work it a little bit, and this is pretty much where it's gonna sit. So we're gonna go ahead and make the little filler that's gonna go in here between this section of metal and the door, so we can go ahead and fill the backside, and that'll be this little gap that we have here. So let me make the filler, we'll get that tacked up, and then we're gonna work on this little window here and getting that filled in as well. So let's get to it. All right guys, so I got this piece made up. I got the little filler in there, just tacked it up for now. We're gonna go ahead and fit it right here and see how it fits, and if it all looks good, we're gonna go ahead and weld it up. So there it is there. We're gonna keep it right there. As you can see, it's right below the edge there, so just enough to put a little body filler on it, and that's gonna fit pretty good right there. So I'm gonna trim out the inside as well here. So you can see I got this marked inside. This little excess material here. We're gonna cut that edge off right there where the marker's at, and that'll sit flush to the door so we can get some welding here. So let me get this finalized here, and I'm probably gonna go ahead and do the other side since I already know what I gotta do with these pieces. Okay, so I have this section of the quarter ready to go for the door. I did the back filler here, and I also filled in the cutout for the door trim right there. So this is all boxed in, ready to go. I also back traced the other side, so this one here is trimmed up already. I just need to fill it in, and then that one will be ready to go as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this on the door one more time, and then we'll get it tacked up. Once that's tacked up and welded in, we'll go ahead and do some body filler. Sorry about the wind, but I finally got this piece of the quarter fit to the door. As you can see, I got this little pocket filled in. I got the backside filled in as well. So this is pretty much ready to weld in. We gotta knock off some of the paint, and then we'll get it welded in. Like I had mentioned, this is gonna be a lot of work to make this little piece for the door, but it's definitely gonna be well worth it. The outcome's gonna be a lot better, and I'm already liking the way it looks. You can already see the curve on the door from the arch coming from the quarter. It's exactly what I wanted. So we're gonna go ahead and get this tacked up and then start moving over to the other side. there it is, guys. So we did the door, we ended up welding it in, and we did some body filler there. I didn't record it, didn't have time, I just wanted to get through it. But this is it right here. We put the wheels back on, dropped it on the ground, got the gas cap on, so you can actually see what it looks like. This is pretty much the finished product. It's definitely wider. We got the door blending in right here nice, so you can see how it tapers into the door. I'm gonna do something right here to fill in the gap a little bit, probably put some epoxy inside there and fill that little gap up. But that's pretty much it right there. It looks a lot wider now, especially from this side here. It's hard to tell on video, but trust me, it's a lot wider. Also, guys, I did end up picking up both front fenders off an M3, so we may be doing that, we may not. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I'm gonna think about it, I'm gonna play with it. The reason I might do the front is because, as you can see, the wheel here is already poking past the fender. Over here, we're definitely inside the wheel well, so I want to go with a little bit wider wheel, or maybe put a spacer, but I want this side to match. So we may end up doing the front fenders after all, but you guys are just gonna have to come back on the next video and check it out. For now, this is gonna be it for this video. If you guys like this, go ahead and come back. Please drop a like, drop a comment if you got anything to say, and once we do the other side, we'll update you with a new video. So peace out, guys. We'll see you later.